Your name.
Ruby Nell Goldsby.
Where were you born and when?
Born Halls, Tennessee, in November the 9th, 1918.
What were your parents' names?
John and Eileen Cook.
How many brothers and sisters did you have, and what were their names?
Let's see, I had two brothers, Lyman Cook and Murray Cook, and I had three sisters, Louise Cook, and Belda Cook, and Alma Cook, A-L-M-A.
What were your grandparents' names, and tell them about us?
My grandparents, on my daddy's side, it was John Cook and Catherine Cook. And on mama's side, it was Robert Lee Manus, and now I know my grandma's name. No, wait. I forgot it. Lucy Lillian, I believe was her name.
Alrighty. Where all have you lived?
Where all have I lived?
Yes, ma'am.
I've lived in Memphis, and I've lived at Henderson, and I've lived at Faults, that's near Dyersburg, and I guess I lived near Halls when I was a baby.
How did you get to school?
Huh?
How did you get to school?
Walked.
Where did you attend school?
Where did I attend school?
Yes, ma'am.
The first one was Peabody School in Memphis. And then I went to school at Faults, Tennessee, and South Dyersburg, and Henderson.
What was your first day of school like?
My first day.
Yes, ma'am.
Why, I have no idea. I can't remember that far back. You just think how long ago that's been. Let me see, I was born in 1918, and 6 and 8, 24. I probably started school in 1924.
Alright.
And the first day of school?
Yes.
But you know, there's no way I could remember that. I remember going to school, and I remember some of my teachers' names. When I was in first grade, one of them was named Miss Bad, and one of them was named Miss Williams. And I had two teachers before I had them, but I don't remember their names.
What type of house did you live in when you were growing up?
What type of house? Just a regular house. Regular wooden frame house.
What chores did you have as a child?
Huh?
What chores did you have as a child?
As a child? Chores? Oh, I had to make my bed. And had to sweep. Had to milk a cow. That's when I was, in high school, when I had to milk a cow before I went to school. And I don't know, I had to help Mama do everything. Had to help wash. We washed them with a tub and a rub barrel. And I had to help Mama wash, hang out clothes, bring them in. See, didn't anybody have a washer or a dryer? They had, I guess they'd been heard of.
the experience with your family that you remember the most?
Huh?
An experience with your family that you remember the most?
Oh, I don't know. I guess you're not right. Oh, yeah.
Good.
I remember when Lyman had polio. I remember that real well. And I remember going to Arkansas in a truck, in the back of a truck. And I hate to, I'm not going to tell you this.
Go on and tell us. Bubbles.
My granddaddy gave us a cow and 2 hogs, and we put them in the back of that truck, and we come all the way from Arkansas to Henderson. We rode in the back of the truck, and the animals were in the back of the truck.
With y'all?
They built a petition in there, and they were up in the front, I think, and we were in the back. And all of us, and my aunt and her family all went. We all rode in the back of that truck. And we came back by Memphis and stopped at the zoo and went to the zoo. I remember that. I had probably been to zoo before. We had lived in Memphis, but I didn't remember it.
What was your first job?
Huh?
What was your first job?
I worked at the telephone company as an operator.
Where did you meet your husband and how?
He was a blind date, and I met him, and we were with a whole group of people when we got on the boat and went down the Mississippi River.
When did y'all get married and where?
We got married in Hernando, Mississippi, at a preacher's house, and that was in 1941. Where did I get married? And what else?
And where?
Where? In Hernando, Mississippi.
How many kids did you have and what are their names?
I had 3. Thunder, Ricky, and Dennis.
Do you know anyone that was in the Civil War?
Yeah, I knew a man that was in the Civil War. His name was Mr. Bill Rainey.
Can you tell us about him?
Huh?
Can you tell us about him?
Well, my aunt was one of his children. He had 3 or 4 children, and one of them was my aunt. And when he was in the, what war was it? In 1840s, 50s?
Civil War.
He was in the Civil War, and he got one of his hands blown off. He just had a nub there. I remember that about him. See, he was an old man when I was a little girl.
Yeah.
But I remember him well.
That's it.
Hmm?
That's it.
That's it. You didn't have to ask too